Hey guys, welcome back. In the last session, we have created the beneficiary class. Now, in this session, what I'll do is I'll be creating the beneficiary repository and the beneficiary service classes. So before we go to do, so I have missed one thing over here. So you can pause the video and you can check like what I've missed it over here. Okay. Okay. So now here, what I missed it, I have missed the Hibernate JPA annotations. Okay. Okay, so Jakarta persistence API annotations, I have missed it. So I want to store these beneficiary details in my DB, right? So I need to make this as an entity. So by default, it will be, storing these entity details. It will be converting these entity details into the, database table, and it will be storing into the my database. Currently, I'm using the MySQL, right? So it will be going and storing the beneficiary. It will be creating the beneficiary table with all these columns, okay, into the database table. Now here I'm getting an exception because I haven't provided the primary key. So for that, in order to provide the primary key, I'll be using the at id annotation. Okay, so I'll be generating the id value automatically. Okay, for that I am using the identity generator. Okay, I hope this is fine. So we completed this entity class. Now what I'll do is I'll be going to the services folder, a services directory, a services package. I'll be right clicking on that. I'll be creating a class. Okay, so before we create a services, what I'll do is I'll be creating the repository interface. Actually, let me create a repository interface. So I'll be giving the interface name as a beneficiary repository. I'll be giving the name as beneficiary repository. Okay, so this beneficiary repository, okay, this is not a class actually, it is an interface. It is an interface. My mistake, I have given that as a class. So it is an interface. This will be extending the JPA repository because we are using the JPA in backend. Okay, we can use a CRUD repository as well. So with JPA, you can perform wide variety of operations. Paginations also you can handle. All CRUD operations also you can handle. Okay. So for JPA, you need to give the entity details which are going to persist it. So we are going to persist the beneficiary details, right? So I'll be saying beneficiary, and in the beneficiary, what is the primary key? In the beneficiary, the primary key would be primary key type would be a long. So that's why I'm giving long over here. Fine. So let me import this. Okay, it's automatically imported the beneficiary details. Okay, and now let me make this as a a repository. Let me make this as a repository actually. Okay, now this will become a repository layer. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll be creating the service class. So I'll be giving the name as a beneficiary services. Now let me right click on it, create a class called beneficiary services. This is the class. Okay, so this is the class we have created. Now what I'll do is I'll make this class as the one of the service. Okay, so the service, so we can say that it is a service class. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll be injecting the beneficiary repository into this service class so that from the service I'll make a call to the beneficiary repository to add the beneficiary details, to retrieve the beneficiary details. Okay, or to delete the beneficiary also we can do it. Okay, so now as of now we are doing the add one. So what I'll do is let me inject the beneficiary repository. That's fine. Now this is a private. Okay, and let's auto wire this one. So I'll be auto wiring will be telling the Spring to automatically inject the beneficiary, automatically create the beneficiary object at runtime, and give the object details back to us. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll be creating a method called add beneficiary. Add beneficiary is the method. Add beneficiary is the method which will be taking the beneficiary details. So I'll be taking the beneficiary. So now what I'll do is this beneficiary add beneficiary method will be returning the beneficiary as the return type. and this should be a public method, so we can access from the outside of the package as well. So now what I'll do is I'll be using the beneficiary repository. Okay, I'll be using the beneficiary repository and add this beneficiary details. I'll say beneficiary repository dot save of beneficiary. So we are saving the beneficiary details. Now I want to return this beneficiary. I want to return the saved beneficiary details. So I'll be using the return command, which will be returning the beneficiary details. Simple, right? Okay, so in this session, what we have done, we have created the beneficiary repository, which will be extending the JPA repository. Okay, and we have created the beneficiary services class, and we are injecting the beneficiary repository into the beneficiary services, and we have created a method which will be adding the beneficiary details. Okay, in the next session, what I'll do is I'll be creating the controller for beneficiary, so which will be handling the incoming request. So until then, thank you for watching.